And we're live. I am alive. Sorry, I have a creaky chair. Hey guys, hope someone can tune in this morning. This is Coffee with the Pastor, episode 21, coronavirus edition. All of them are coronavirus edition. This episode is brought to you by Willie Nelson, the patron saint of Austin, Texas, by the Ruta Maya Coffee Roasting Company, and by vegan chocolate chip cookies that I made yesterday. You wish you had some. You can make your... Hey, there are Tori and Matthew. Who else is going to show up? Anybody? Any takers? Give us another half a minute or so. I always forget to turn my notifications off so as not to make loud dings. There's Naomi. Hi. Hi, friend. Gosh, I miss everyone's faces. I miss faces and eye contact and long hugs. I feel I am not alone in this. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, I don't know, I have no sense of time anymore. I mentioned in one of my talks, it might have been a sermon or it might have been a coffee with a pastor, I mentioned the term spiritual bypassing. And I made a note to myself to go back and just to circle back to that topic so that we can make sure that we understand what that is. Because I think it's kind of important here in this moment. And so I want to just share with you a little bit about spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing is a term coined by the psychotherapist John Welwood. He is no longer living, as I understand it. And he, pardon me, he defined spiritual bypassing as, quote, using spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep personal, emotional, unfinished business, to shore up a shaky sense of self, or to belittle basic needs, feelings, and developmental tasks. Okay. I believe Welwood was a Buddhist, and I think that I have seen, I've seen spiritual bypassing in all manner of religious life. Obviously, evangelicalism is the subset of religion that with which I've had the most experience personally. And evangelicalism is full of spiritual bypassing. And I've seen it in Catholicism. I've seen it, it's everywhere. I've seen it amongst New Age folks. It's a great temptation. So basically it is using spiritual ideas or language as a cover-up or a band-aid for difficult things like emotional issues, like underlying trauma, abusive relationships, anger, emotions that are overwhelming, uncertainty, basically using spirituality to bypass dealing with any hard thing. So, for instance, the Christian spiritual bypasser might say when faced with a problem, well, God is on the throne. Okay, which is not untrue. The trouble is that usually the spiritual bypasser is using that idea to avoid facing the problem or taking any responsibility for it. So spiritual bypassing really loves platitudes. It loves platitudes like God is on the throne. God is in control. You just need to pray more. You got to have faith. I'm not angry. I forgive. Forgive and forget. Oh, you're never lonely because God is always near. To go in a more new agey direction, spiritual bypassing might look like good vibes only. Got to stay positive. Not going to look at whatever is hard or messy. And platitudes are annoying. Not Platitudes are annoying because they're not untrue. It's not that they're wrong; they just don't address the problem. And well, I do think it's true that we need to maintain a positive mindset and to practice gratitude. It's also true, and one of the great conundrums of life, that we can and we must face hard things head on. So I call it passive positivity. And by that I mean, like, it's positivity that disengages, that's unwilling to take responsibility, and that's like disempowered. Okay. So, oh, thank you. You love my glasses. Thanks. I've had them for a long time. Okay. Oh, yeah, Naomi. I know Naomi hates platitudes. We've had so many conversations about that. Oh, yeah, they're so annoying, but not because they're false. They're annoying because they're not helpful. It's like truth that's not helpful. Okay, so here's just some examples of how I perceive a spiritual bypassing mindset. Spiritual bypassing, to my mind, now this is me talking. I am just a student of humanity, okay? I'm not a therapist. But I see spiritual bypassing as negating curiosity. Spiritual bypassing is unwilling to ask questions about whatever the hardship is or whatever the messiness is, usually because of fear and or trauma. Like, don't go there. Don't dig into that mess. Okay. I see spiritual bypassing kind of as spiritually lazy. It wants world problems to belong to other people. I see it as disregarding our role as the hands and feet of Jesus and our invitation that we have from Jesus to participate in bringing the kingdom of God to earth. I see it as being sort of unwilling to do emotional work, particularly work with anger, trauma, grief, lament. It kind of rejects reality in favor of this inauthentic positivity. A great example is I'll fly awayism. Like this really bad theological idea that became popular because, people are lazy and they would just want to think that, oh, it doesn't matter what we do in this world, the world's going to burn anyway, and we're all going to fly away up to heaven. And, Jesus is going to come back and he's going to save us all. And we don't have to do any good work here on the earth. So I'll fly awayism is it's kind of a classic example to me of a Christian way of spiritually bypassing. So I think of those two great female Christian mystics, Teresa of Avila and Julian of Norwich. And Teresa is famous for saying, Christ has no body now but yours, no hands and feet on earth but yours. And Julian is famous for saying, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. And I think that it's between those two ideas, Christ has no body now but yours, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. Between those two ideas that we can find the sweet spot between a childlike trust in a loving and divine creator and a recognition of our own power to work love into the world. So Here we are in this epic moment. The fragility of our healthcare and social safety nets are being revealed. The level of fear among us is revealed. Racial and socioeconomic disparities and racist policy are revealed. Unfit leaders are revealed. And we have a choice right now of how to do our spirituality right here and now. And that's why I'm talking about spiritual bypassing, because we can do our spirituality and we can use it to spiritually bypass and remain like cocooned inside whatever privilege we have, which says, oh, well, God's going to take care of it. I have no responsibility here. Or we can take our power back and we can partner with Christ and with Christ's values and the community that Christ initiated. And we can speak and work and vote for change and lovingly educate ourselves on the issues and be awake and encourage our friends and families to be awake, all while staying connected to divine love and trusting that resurrection has already happened and that all will be well and all manner of things will be well and love will have the last word and God is working all things for our good. Holding these two ideas. And I think that what we need to cultivate in this moment is engaged, empowered positivity, as opposed to passive positivity that doesn't want to face reality. So that means that we hold intentional participation in one hand and gratitude and trust in the other. And we demonstrate spiritual maturity when we can hold these two things in tension, two things that are seemingly contradictory or conflicting ideas. Because it's precisely because of our childlike trust in God, in a loving creator, that God is love and love is the ground of our being. Okay, it's precisely because of that faith that we have the courage to face our trauma and our emotional pain and our bad habits and our societal sins and our complicity. And it's Christ that empowers us to do this. So we have empowered engagement over passive positivity, which is, it's more nuanced. And that's part of us becoming spiritually mature, is us learning to hold tension and learning to bear with nuance and being curious. Remember, I said something that I consistently notice about spiritual bypassing is an unwillingness to be curious. There's just no curiosity there. And curiosity takes us back to that wonder, that childlike wonder, like I wonder what's there. I wonder what can we learn from this hard emotion? What can we learn from this anger? What can we learn from this societal sin that's being revealed? Okay, that's what I have to say about spiritual bypassing. Let's not do that. Let's be empowered and engaged and curious and willing to take on what's hard that's rising to the surface and that's being revealed. I want us to be positive, but I want us to be positive in an empowered way, because I think that's what Christ is inviting us to. So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. I hope that you are all well. I pray for you. I pray that courage and that curiosity as whatever's coming up for you every day. I mean, I feel like for me, at least every moment, every hour, there are new emotions cropping up. And in terms of being quarantined, I mean, I'm on day 36 of social isolation. This is a slog. So I pray for all of us courage and curiosity and stick with itness and empowered engagement. Blessings. I love you. I'm sending you light and love and peace and power. Bye, guys.